right, call the meeting to order. We have one item, determination of bond for blasting permit. In all my years, I've never seen this. Yeah, I've never seen this, I don't think. So go ahead, whoever wants to explain this. I'm guessing.
Thank you, Mayor. So we had a request that came in for kind of blasting. It certainly fits underneath our code. We have a code 6090 blasting. And the reason we're here today at Board of Public Works is because not only is a permit required, which fire handles, and inspection that goes along with that permit, a bond has to be set by the Board of Public Works. That is right in our code. We have to set a bond between 0 and who knows how much. The request has come from Allen Winchester. They would like to now detonate a 45-pound keg of slow-burning smokeless propellant along with a 45-pound keg of fast-burning propellant, and keeping the detention to 1,000 small pistol primers. This is something that they do all over the country at their plants to sort of demonstrate for their workers what can possibly go wrong and how fast this happens if you're not vigilant. It's supposedly a very effective demonstration. Because we don't have a lot of blasting done in the city, this has never come up. But now we have a new business owner in town that makes ammunition, and they would like to do this. Chief has been on this. They planned on doing this in a week. They hadn't given the city notice. They sort of said, hey, what's the status? And Chief said, I didn't know anything about this. And they realized, oh, shoot, we were supposed to ask you. Long story short, we put this, we fast-tracked this to try to get it done so they could meet their schedule.
Can we ask Chief his thoughts?
You should be able to hear me, right? Oh, okay. Gotcha. So my thoughts were, yeah, this was a very unusual request, and it came through, and I've never heard of it either. So I started searching our municipal code and worked with Attorney Nitch here, and this little section of blasting seemed to fit. Initially, what they were requesting was, to me, appeared to be a significant amount more of material. This is what was sent to me yesterday on what they want to do. So we worked, of course it says get a permit by the fire chief, so we worked, got the permit squared away, and now because of this language in the ordinance about the bonding, that's why we're all here. In speaking with the maintenance person that sent me that, this sounds like a reasonable request and doesn't appear to be it's always dangerous when you're blasting, but from what they're requesting to do, where they're located, appear to be dangerous. By getting the permit that we have here out, will cover, they'll give us their plan. It's all in the permit, so I feel that if they fill this out, I'm able to look at their plan, they can show me that, and they follow what's on that site plan and permit, things like that, that this would be an acceptable thing to do out in the industrial park.
Dan?
So as part of the permit, I assume they have to notify the neighbors, so then it
Yes.
doesn't cause alarm when all of a sudden you hear 2 explosions out there?
Correct. In the permit, I guess I brought a copy along. I don't know if anyone would like to, I guess, review it prior to, but yeah, there's areas in there for all that type of stuff. Checking, a site plan, utilities, neighbors, pre-blast survey, notification to adjoining properties, if it would be applicable, notification to utility companies, traffic and pedestrian control plan. It goes on because this also needs to be encompassing for, I guess, what it's also intended is for, like setting up a quarry and things like that. So we tried to make it encompassing, and then if it doesn't apply, they can check that as well.
Alderman Reckelberg?
Yeah, I guess you will be getting that information, but you don't have it yet. For example, the location, I'm assuming, is out where their business is.
Correct. So again, the purpose of tonight is to get this bond set so that I can forward that information to Winchester on what the requirements are, get the permit filled out, and then we can either accept or deny what they give us.
So we have the ability to deny, because some of this
Yes.
information I need or would want before I say, well, I was joking, you know, hey, give them a $10 bazillion bond.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you know, under certain circumstances, that might not be,
Sure.
you know, a bad idea to request. How much now somebody said that they've done this at some of their other locations.
That is what I understand, but I don't have that information firsthand.
Because, I mean, that's the other thing, if they've done that at other locations, I'm on the phone to other locations, to the police department, the fire department, going, what did they do? Was it a big deal? Did you have problems? What, you know? So, I mean, what could go wrong? Based on the volume, I'm not in the military, haven't been in bomb squads. How much damage, if that all goes up at once, could take place? I mean, are they doing it outside of their building, inside of their building? If it's close to the building, could they bring the building up too, considering they've got all that other flammable inside their building?
Correct. So these, by, I guess, setting the bond today, I could get the information out, they could fill out this application, which then requires a site plan, all those items located in there, which then I could look at that and go out and visually inspect that, and that's part of approving the permit and allowing them to do this. So in the emails and in the communications I've had thus far, yes, this would be outside. Yes, they've communicated that here's some of our safety things we have in place already. But I want more. I want to see the site plan and things like that, so I can physically go out there prior to this and inspect it.
Is there a way, Mr. Attorney, of not putting in an amount at that time until we get this information? Or is there a way of making sure that their liability insurance and everything else, so that if something goes awry, not on their property, but all the adjoining, I mean, there's a lot of business out there. I mean, I don't foresee them putting so much horsepower together that they're, you know, worried about, well, yeah, we took down 2 buildings, but not ours, you know?
Our job here, and I apologize if I didn't make this clear, is just to set the bond. The police chief has the fire chief has the authority to approve or deny the permit. And so all we need to do here today is set the bond for this event, if it's gonna happen. Final word rests with him pursuant to our code. Staff is recommending a $0 bond. They have insurance, they do this all the time, yada, yada, yada. That's what we're recommending. You know, whatever, do whatever you want, but we're here because the code says we have to set this.
What does the bond cover? If we set it for $1 million, I mean, geez, you set liability coverage for $1 million or more if somebody wants to do something out at Expo, for Pete's sakes, or whatever.
So I'll just very quickly read the ordinance. No person shall blast or carry on any blasting operations without first having obtained a permit from the fire chief. The applicant for such permit must file a bond deemed adequate in each case by the Board of Public Works, which bond shall become available in the payment of any damage arising from the neglect of the contractor or the contractor's agent or employees. Any person violating any provision of the section shall, upon conviction thereof, be punished by a fine not more than $500.
Last question then is, for example, these groups put on different events. They'll rent our facility or whatever. I notice we require liability insurance unless waived. But most people have to have their liability insurance in order to rent the facility and put on their event. What is the amount that we're putting in that liability insurance for those things? Is it $1 million? Is it $1.5 million? $2 million?
What rental are you talking about? I don't know that that's, what are you're asking about?
Well, this weekend, what
Yeah,
do we have
exactly.
requirement for bounce houses and everything?
Yeah,
We require any special type of
special
insurance?
events, thank you, yeah.
1 million.
Rather than none, I was suggesting we have at least 1 million, if they're still covering anything, but I can't see charging some of our nonprofits and other organizations that are coming in here, putting on events, and you've got all this explosion going on. I mean, that's just my feeling.
Yeah, just for clarity though, the difference, though, they have liability insurance. We're not requiring, this is about a bond, not liability. So as long as we deem their liability insurance is adequate, it's a non-issue here. The issue is whether or not we want the bond in place, right? So that's the difference, I think, Alder Ruckelberg, is they already have insurance, and we're not requiring. Well, I certainly believe they probably have much more than $1 million at this point.
Yes.
I don't know in this case, because you're talking about explosions, but it doesn't cost that much to go to the insurance company and get $1 million bond. Hell, I had to post that 40 years ago, $1 million. Holy crap, it cost me $20.
Right. I'm assuming their liability.
I'm assuming they know what they're doing.
Well, I brought it up.
Yeah, no,
I
mean,
said
it's-
$1 million,
yeah.
if I get voted against, that's fine. I mean, I'm not gonna argue, but
All right, is that a motion?
yes.
Okay,
$1
we have
million.
motion for $1 million bond. Is there a second?
Of course not.
Motion fails for a lack of a second. Mackenzie, did you have something to say, or no? You had your hand up.
Yep, I was just gonna say that, providing proof of insurance is part of the permit application, so we will have evidence of their liability coverage prior to issuing a permit.
Yeah, Alderman Earl.
In that proof, is there a limit that they have to provide, or it's just whatever their business deems needs to be their limit? That might get to the coverage having enough.
Just, do they have it or not? No, it doesn't specifically.
But again, I would
spell out
think the
because
value of
it's-
the building, their liability insurance is way
And
high.
their employees and, yeah, they have,
I would believe so. Okay, thank you.
but. Is there any other motions out there?
I would make a motion for a $0 bond.
Second.
Motion and a second discussion. How about just, when this is all said and done and approved, why don't you send us, an update email just saying, yep, it was approved and here's where their liability was and all that fun stuff if you want to?
Yeah,
If you
absolutely.
could, then we can just at least do our due diligence and follow up.
For sure.
Ensure that we made the right decision. All right, there's a motion and a second to set it at 0. Is there any further discussion? Seeing none, then all those in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion carried unanimously. That exhausts our agenda.
Motion to adjourn?
Motion second, we are adjourned.